Today's video is all about solving quadratic inequalities. Before you can even start watching this video, make sure you know how to solve regular inequalities and know how to solve quadratics. I have videos to both of these topics, and I'll put them in the description below. All right, let's just first break down the language. Solving means to find the unknown or isolate the unknown. So our goal is to have x on one side, and we'll have an inequality on the other side, and we'll have an inequality and a number on the other side like that. So our goal is to get something like that, where we isolate the unknown. Quadratic, quadratic, a square term, an x term, and a number term. We call these a quadratic. And inequalities. So instead of equal signs, there's like a more than or less than sign, okay? So let's get started. Solve x squared minus 7x plus 12 is less than or equal to 0. Step 1, you're going to solve the inequality. And we're going to solve the quadratic, So we'll write x squared minus 7x plus 12. So the inequality we'll write equals to 0. And how do you solve a quadratic? Like before, you must factorize it. You can't solve a quadratic by rearranging, like minusing 12 minus 12. You must factorize it. And since it's a quadratic, we're going to use the column method. So boom, boom. Think of two numbers that make x squared, x times x. Think of two numbers that make 12, negative 4 and negative 3 multiplies to make positive 12. X times negative 4 is negative 4x, negative 3x. That makes negative 7x. Perfect. So x minus 3, x minus 4 equals 0. So x minus 3 equals 0. So x is 3. And then x minus 4 equals 0. X is 4. Now, remember, when we solve a quadratic, you can find this in your sketching video. Actually, so another prerequisite, guys, is learning how to sketch quadratics. Whenever you solve a quadratic, what you have found is you have found out where the x-intercepts are. So we can draw a little graph. And I know, after solving the quadratic, I know our quadratic crosses the x-axis at 3 and 4. Don't worry about the vertex. Don't worry about the y-intercept. So basically, our quadratic looks something like this. So that's step 2. We want to do a sketch. So step 1, solve the quadratic. Step 2, sketch the x-intercepts. Now, solve x squared minus 7x plus 12 is less than or equal to 0. All right, I'll make note of that. Less than or equal to 0. 0. So now, this horizontal line, this is the x-axis. It also has a value of 0, because on any point along this line, the y-coordinate is 0. So we're trying to find the points which are less than or equal to 0. So I'm looking for the points below the x-axis. So I'm looking for this section here. All right, maybe just color it in. So now we can see, okay, our values from x must be from here all the way to here. So x it's bigger than 4 or equal to 4, since it's an equals to sign, but it's less than or equal to 4. Sorry, it's bigger or equal to 3, but less than or equal to 4. And that's our answer. We've solved the inequality because we've isolated x, okay? If we're doing this question, and if it was x squared minus 7x plus 12 is more than or equal to 0, you'll still do the exact same steps. You'll solve the quadratic. You'll sketch it out. 3 and 4. Boom. Draw your U shape. Now it's more than 0. So remember, this line is 0. So we're looking for the parts above 0. So we're looking for this section here and this section here. So basically from 3 that way and from 4 that way. So if this is our question, our answer would be x is less than or equal to 3. And x is 4 or more. So x is more than or equal to 4, okay? So the answer to this equation would be this. The answer to this equation would be this. You can practice this one in your own time. Here, solve this. So I'm like, boom, it's a quadratic, it's an inequality. So we're solving a quadratic inequality. So step one, we're going to solve this quadratic so we can sketch it out. It's a quadratic, the other side 0. In order to solve a quadratic, you must factorize it using the column method. X times x, negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. That makes positive x. Ooh, okay, so maybe I want positive 4 and negative 5. That multiplies to negative 20. So 4x minus 5x, and it makes negative x. X minus 5. What minus 5 is 0? Well, x must be 5. Easy peasy. Something plus 4 is 0, so minus 4 both sides. X equals minus 4. We'll sketch it. So we solved our quadratic. Now we're going to sketch it. So we know that x-intercepts are negative 4 and 5. So it looks like this. And it's a U-shape because it's positive x squared. So I should have clarified. Looks like that. And we're looking for x squared minus x minus 20 is less than 0. So this line is 0. So we're looking for the section less than 0, which means the section under the line. So boom, 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 boom. It's basically from here all the way to here. So we can say x is more than negative 4, but less than 5. All right, and that's our answer. And if the question was x squared minus x minus 20 is more than 0, you do the same thing. You solve the quadratic. You have negative 4 and 5. Draw our U-shape. This line is our 0 line, and it's more than 0 this time. X squared minus x minus 20 is greater than 0. So we're looking for a section above the 0 line. So we're looking for this section here and this section here. So we could say x is less than negative 4 and x is more than 5. All right, next one. Solve a quadratic inequality. So let's solve the quadratic first. We have to factorize using the column method because it's a quadratic. Minus 1 times minus 9 is 9. X minus 9x. Boom. Combine diagonally. We'll solve this by rearranging. So plus 9 plus 9. Divide 2. X equals 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. And the other one, x minus 1 equals 0. Oh, what minus 1 is 0? X is 1. So you can sketch it out. Boom, boom. 1, 4.5. It's a U-shape. We're looking for a section where 2x squared minus 11x plus 9 is less than 0. So this is our 0 line. We're looking for the section less than 0, so underneath the 0. So this section here. So from here all the way to here, basically. So x is more than 1 and less than 4.5. Boom. You can do that one by yourself. Here, solve. Oh, there's a quadratic. There's x term. X term, number, and a squared term. But we have to rearrange it because whenever we want to solve a quadratic, the other side must be 0. So let's just write it out first. X squared. I'll keep the x squared positive, so I'll get rid of this 6x. 6x is positive 6x, so I'll minus 6x on both sides. That cancels out, so 27 equals x squared minus 6x. And I'll minus 27 minus 27, so 0 equals x squared minus 6x minus 27. Cool. And actually, I'll also write it out with the inequality sign too. So it was facing this way. All right, let's first solve this quadratic, all right? So it's quadratic. To solve a quadratic, we must factorize using the column method. XX. Cool. So x equals -3, x equals 9. We'll sketch it out. It's a U shape like this, boom. And we rearranged it, so it looks like that. So x squared minus 6x minus 27 is less than 0. So again, oh crap, we're looking for the section underneath because this line's 0. So less than 0 is this section here. So x is more than -3, but less than 9. All right. And oh yeah, that's it. So you can do this practice by yourself, and this practice by yourself, and this one here too, and this one here too. So you have 4 practice questions you can try.